Breezeway separation is not something you see every day, but if you sell enough homes, you will see it eventually, and if you watch this video, you'll know how to recognize it and what to do about it. The breezeway we were talking about is a breezeway that is between the house and the garage, and the separation we're talking about is a separation between the breezeway and usually the house, but sometimes the garage also, or the garage only. Here you can see a very large gap, over an inch, between the breezeway and the house. Notice also the flashing above where the breezeway connects to the house is completely separated and been pulled away. Here's a situation where it's been pulled away probably 1.25 inches, maybe even 1.5 inches. If you notice the trim board on your left, that's a 1x, and so you can use that to gauge the distance. Very bad situation. In this situation, you can see the large gap where the I would call it a batten board, lower piece of siding. It's been significantly pulled away from the brick. You can basically stick your whole hand up in there. Notice also at the right end of this, there's another piece of material that's been pulled out. There's probably a total displacement here of at least 1.5 inches, maybe close to 2 inches. The first thing most people would notice here is the soldier brick has been pulled away, which is not that unusual even without a breezeway, but it's quite a bit of strain here. But notice above it, the breezeway is clearly pulling away from the house, and even above the breezeway, it's pulling away. A telltale sign that we've got a problem. Here you have a shot of a breezeway that's pulled away a little bit over 1 inch. Here you have a separation where you have vinyl siding and a vinyl soffit under the breezeway. Vinyl is usually more forgiving than wood, and usually hides this better. So the gap here, while small, is in fact significant. This is a shot of a different gap at the same house with a vinyl siding, which you can see here is even larger. One last shot of the vinyl siding where you can see it's been pulled apart by a breezeway. Here is a very unusual situation which you won't see very often. The breezeway has pulled away from the house so much that it has actually stretched out the flashing in this valley and made the entire roof covering lift up, clearly presenting a very easy entry for water, as well as an entry for squirrels and raccoons to tear everything up. Here's the takeaway for real estate agents. Agents need to realize that breezeways do sometimes pull away from houses and cause damage. The damage is almost always minor, but sometimes it's fairly significant and can even lead to a safety issue. In most cases, the situation needs to be monitored, but there are no repairs really necessary, as long as the damage is minor. While the problem is, in a sense, a foundation issue, piers or piles usually only provide temporary relief. They really only restrain settlement. They do not restrain lateral movement very effectively. In extreme or severe situations, the best repair is to independently support the breezeway so it can't damage the movement cannot damage the house. You should always be aware that there are potential liability issues if the homeowner attempts to make some kind of patch repair. The best, safest solution is to let an engineer look at it and recommend what to do, and then follow his recommendations, which most of the time will be simply to monitor the situation. I hope you found this week's topic to be of interest and of some value to you. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. The advantage of subscribing is that every time I upload a new video, you will be informed by email from YouTube. If you know of any other real estate agents who could benefit from my YouTube channel, please send them a link. In the meantime, I hope you have a profitable week, and I'll try to have a new video out next week.